Hi, it's Lisa, bringing to you a bee journal that I recently completed. It is a soft cover, but a hard spine, and has a bee brooch, several layers of lace, a little dangle on the side, and this is an Adobe image that I licensed. It's one of those where I fell victim to the get 10 free images of Adobe and you can cancel anytime, which I did, and I thought, well, I'll just get 1 month. And then that way I'll feel like I got my 10 free images plus 10 more, which gives me 20 images for a 1 month fee. And then I fell a little sick earlier in the year and totally forgot about it. So now I'm the proud owner of lots of Adobe images I licensed. Anyway, so I'm going to utilize them, that's for sure. And I cannot sell the images as an image, but I can use them on anything that I want to sell. So this was printed out on a transfer and then ironed onto cloth. So it's not paper, it's actually cloth, and sewn in on top of another layer of green material and some burlap, and then a thin layer of blue fine organza, which I love, and then a soft, lightly batted cover. On the back spine is 9 eyelets where I laced in some fun, thin, shiny ribbons and put a handmade dangle on. The dangle has some bee charms and some little pieces of amber, little amber beads. I have clay on my fingers that won't come off because it's epoxy clay, so if you see those big black smears, that's just epoxy clay. But little pieces, little amber chips. Then we got lots of little flower charms. And I love that bead. That bead looks just like a beehive to me. If it was made by Andy Warhol, maybe. But anyway, you get the idea. And a gigantic metal bee charm, which I think is really beautiful. Sorry about my lighting. I'm in a basement with no windows, so I do the best I can. If I go upstairs, it would be loud and obnoxious, so I won't do that. The back is just lace, and this material came from Walmart in the fat quarters section. I think you get a really pretty fat quarter for like $5, which really makes it an expensive piece of material if you think about it. But just for a small piece, that's all I needed, and it had bees on it. Couldn't pass it up. Let's have a look inside. Oh, and I got a little bee brooch. I bought that years and years ago thinking I would wear it, never did. So now it has a new home on top of the journal. Like that. It's a pretty thick little chunky monkey. Let's see what she's got inside. Might be a surprise to me. I haven't looked in it for a little while. Ah, this is the one with the bee bum bum. Cannot a bee bum bum make you happy? Anyway, that's another Adobe image. Got the bee bum bum. Okay, it's just fun to say. Sorry. I took one of those little notebooks that you get 3 for $1 and did just a little altering with a page from an antique dictionary. Just something to write some additional notes on. The little bee charm. The same image that's on the front of the journal. And just blank pages. On the back is a little pocket in case somebody wanted to put in some receipts. This journal is for sale, if anyone's interested. It's one of those old Prima flowers. I came across a package that I forgot that I had. Aren't they beautiful? A Sizzix embossing folder. Little charms. Got a little bead and a butterfly. Tim Holtz. A wooden star. This is just some dyed paper to write notes on. I don't think there's too much better in the paper world than dyed paper. It just makes you feel good. Even if it's got a little tear in it, I even like it better. It gives it character, especially when it's gotten the darkened dye around the edges. Okay, just want to touch it. You don't realize how cute they are until you see them close up. Got some burlap ribbon. I had originally left these plain, and I thought, after a time they might wear where I left so much space here so that you could add more into this pocket. You can see what I did here with the spine. So this is all quilted and batted, but this is actually a piece of MDF type chipboard, and it's wrapped in the exact material, and well glued into the spine. Another Adobe image. Tim Holtz medallion. I don't know if you can see that clear or not. So I need to work on my lighting for sure. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Be good to yourself. I remember hearing a scripture that said, love thy neighbor as thyself. And I realized, it was back when I was younger, that I didn't really like myself that much. And I thought, well then, if I just love other people as much as I love myself, I'm not going to love them very much. So learn to love yourself. I love myself now. Not any more than I do anybody else, but at least I like who I am. I printed this image out on some clear vellum, and I think, oh, look how beautiful it is. I wish I could see the color as well, but my poor lighting is horrific. So pretty. Another image you could write up here. Some beautiful sunflowers. First really decorated page. This is a set of earrings that I never wore. Has a little bee. So I put one of the Tim Holtz baseboard dolls and drilled a little hole right through his hand, and now he's holding the bee like a little lantern. Library pocket. And just a piece out of a dictionary for bumblebee. A large hairy bee. And a little belly band tied in that says, he is not worthy of the honeycomb that shuns the hives because the bees have stings. This is by William Shakespeare. Hive rules: be kind, be honest, be respectful, be positive, be grateful, believe in yourself. Another Tim Holtz. Nice little clip. The little curved ends that so many of the paper artists have begun to do lately. I don't know who was the first one to do it, but I enjoy it. This is one of those skeleton leaves that I sandwich between two thin pieces of acetate and then it's just sewed around. You could use it like a bookmark. A little bee charm on a rusted, well, it is rusted. It's real rust, but I rusted it. And you can do that with just vinegar and hydrogen peroxide and a little salt. And just put your metal pieces in it, and as long as they don't have a coating, they will rust in a matter of minutes. Tim Holtz little tag or ticket. This is just where I threw some digitals together myself to make my own little papers. A little embossing from Crafter's Companion. Little Anna Griffin. If you see all these scratches on my arms, it's not that I have a mean cat. I had to shave a kitty who had gotten severely matted, and she and I were in disagreement over it, and so now I have a half-shaved cat right down her spine. She's a Persian, like long hair on this side, and on this side she's now shaved, and so I'm slowly doing a little bit of time instead of trying to do so much at once because, yeah, she didn't like it. Yeah, it was not a big spread, but she didn't like it. One of the new Tim Holtz 3D, I can't remember what this one's called. Is it Damask? I'm not sure. Anyway, nice little journaling spot. Is that not the funnest stamp? That's one of Tim Holtz's older stamps, and I discovered it a little while back, and I have been using it on everything. A little baseboard doll with some little wings. Another image. This does not open, but there is a little card on the side that you can journal on. Just a little bit of sewing around some vellum. Fun little clip. On this side we have a beautiful, I don't know, is this called lucite, I think? A lucite green rose. Another Adobe image. All the papers are papers where I have put the images on myself. Most of them, like this, are Adobe images that I have paid for to license. And the other ones like this were from free stock photos or public domain. This was an image of an old 1989 Russian, I think it's Russian, stamp, actual mail stamp, and I just blew it up a little bit. It had a bee on it, so I had to use it. It's too pretty. The Beehive Clothing House. Another little place to journal. Little tag image. Place to journal. And a little pocket on the back. This is honey. Made a little postcard with that same stamp image and other images that were altered. This is part of the Crafter's Companion bee paper line. I can't remember the actual name of it, but they came out a couple of years, or last year maybe, or a year before that, I can't remember, with an entire line of just bee themed papers and dies. One of Tim Holtz Impresslet leaf dies. This one has some embossing on it, and then using the crayons that he has to make it nice and decorative. A little page is clear acetate that I sewed onto the page. Luckily I have a old Husqvarna, yeah, like the lawnmower sewing machine. When I was, well, I guess it's been 34 years ago, no, 24 years ago, I bought a Husqvarna sewing machine. I knew I was going to sew because I just had my baby, and I made one quilt, and it has set forever until I started doing junk journals. And where it is a heavy duty one, yeah, it'll just sew through anything. It only makes like 3 stitches though, but it would probably sew through 3 layers of blue jeans. So Anna Griffin in one of her ephemera kits. Little Tim Holtz doll, which is a creepy old lady. Hard not to put her in a Halloween journal, but she's a beekeeper now. Another Adobe image. And this is a little envelope that I sewed around. You can get, let's see, I think this is one I made out of an old 6x6 sheet. If I'm not mistaken, that's from Graphic 45, the Curiosities paper. And then there's just some paper inside to write some notes on, or some secret reminders to yourself of something that happened. So if somebody's ever just skimming through your journal because they think it's cute, you still have a few hidey spots where you can write some personal information. Some personal memories. And it does have a little magnet clasp on it. Ooh, come back here. This is one of the Crafter's Companion stamps that came with the set, and it also came with matching dies. Another acetate pocket, but in this case I sandwiched some burlap in between and frayed it into sort of like a little plaid chunks. A little piece of a doily, little flower metal charm, and down here is another little wasp charm. Now they're the stinkers of the bee kingdom, but hey, I carry them all outside when I can. Lots of little ephemera pieces stuck in the pocket. One of Tim Holtz's journaling cards. Just a piece out of the Secret Life of Bees book. My son had it back, I think it was 2014. He had to read it in school, and so we had to buy a copy, and unfortunately our upstairs water started leaking and went right on it, so it was a damaged book, so I've been utilizing it. But it turned out really, really interesting because for this book I had forgot about it, and then just happened to see it. So it starts, clouds of bees rose up on the back, pointed to the honey jars. So there's lots of references to bees in the books, obviously. It is a magnificent book if you ever get a chance to read it. I think there's a movie as well. Is there anything more disturbing than Victorian images? And really, gigantic bee, little bitty girl with a giant head. Yeah, I love it. It's amazing. I love all the colors. I love the representation. This creepy little art from the Victorian. I mean, it's just, have you ever seen any of their greeting cards? Aren't they creepy? I love every one of them. Little Anna. Another one of the stamps from the Crafter's Companion collection. I think that's Tim Holtz. He has so much fun stuff anymore. little folders. Little rub on it says fly away. Another acetate sheet sewn on. A little card fits inside. This is acetate that has been embossed with glitter for wings and then black. It's embossed. You can actually feel it. It's on the outside. Abundance. I embossed the little tabs with some bee imagery. Their bee charm. A sunflower. Even busy bees stop and smell the roses. Just a couple little die cuts stuck behind for interest. Little pocket that's embossed. Little thing right on. Finders keepers. Little honey tag. I love that die cut. Isn't it pretty? Again, Crafter's Companion. I know in a lot of videos, many of the ladies don't like to take everything out of their pockets. I want to see it, ladies. If it's a video that I think is going too slow, just increase the speed. You don't have to watch the whole thing, or you can watch it at a faster rate. I want to see what you got in those pockets. The other side of that vellum sheet that I printed off that gorgeous image of. Isn't that beautiful? Little sewing. Most of the pages do have sewing on them. Edith Holden book. This was the first time I could bring myself to cut the book up. I did it. I finally cut it up. Yep, you're sitting there staring at me. Sewed on some ribbon. Does have a tag inside, and I did decorate inside the tag, so if you take out the tag, you also have it decorated on the inside. It's not just white and goopy. Nice little journaling spot. And this tag holder does flip. Flip it down. And Baby Bumblebee. I don't know if you remember that song. It's actually sort of mean, but still like it. Bringing home a baby bumblebee. I don't know the tune. Anyway, I can't sing either, so I won't bore you with that. Little pocket. This is the hand stitching with. I have a saddle. Don't ask me. I'm a hoarder. I'm a craft hoarder. I have one of those saddle where you use the wax thread to put leather together. I decided to try it. It's a hand thing. You do each stitch by hand. So I did that around the edges, and I love the look of it, so I'm probably going to do it more often now. I just used the paper into some mulberry paper using the wax saddle stitch. Life is the best teacher. One of those Tim Holtz great cards. Oh my gosh, those are so amazing. You know, I have to say, I actually think Anna and Tim go well together. Maybe they should do a little set. We should talk them into it. Steampunk and Victorian all together. Another tag. Just some journaling spots. An old Prima flower that I found. I was surprised. I was going through my stuff and I gave a bunch away to a neighbor who always has her kids and family over to do crafts. But I kept a few of the things that I found. Actually, I think these were Prima flowers and just had these little, I forget what they're called, stamens, and glued them on the back. Turned out pretty good. Yeah, that's all glued in there. This was also a fun find I found at our local, it's called a Deseret Industries. It's like a thrift store. A book that was just envelopes that open up with writing space. So it's almost like if you were traveling, and each envelope has a statement on it. So like this one says, as you begin new adventures, I hope you, so it's giving you a writing prompt. And I left it where you can tear it off here at the perforation in case you did want to use it. Beautiful little bee image. Little grubby tag with one of those ladies from one of Tim Holtz papers. Another tag. Little envelope you could stuff something in. I didn't do anything special with it, but I thought it was just cute as it was. Isn't that beautiful? Sunflower image. A watercolor that was from Adobe. I love that. I think I have it on my Facebook page right now because it's so beautiful. I wish I could paint watercolor like that. The other side of that page. And then we get into the blues. Tim Holtz rub-ons, images. A tag that you write on the back, and it has a little pocket. Two little pieces that you can, little piece you can write on, and then just a piece, a little die cut for interest. I think that's another Anna Griffin die cut from her, one of her card making kits. Little label that you could write on. Good luck to you. Love the person you've worked to become. And some Tim Holtz tags. And a die cut. Actually, it's a punch. I did make so much for this journal that I actually have enough to make another bee journal that's entirely different colors and everything else. So I'm sure that'll be coming soon. Lots of stuff on the inside. If you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive, Abraham Lincoln. I have seen that quote attributed to a few people. I looked it up and looked it up and looked it up, and this is as far back as I could find, was that Abraham Lincoln said it first, which I don't know if he actually did. So if you know differently, let me know in the comments. This was out of, probably back in the 90s, I had a box that was made for photographs, and you could go through and label what was in each section. And of course I never really used it, so now I'm using the cards that were in it for ephemera. A little tag, just stamped with honey. Oh, it's glued on. Another little tag. Another tag. These are images that I stuck together. Just a lattice die, lots of little ephemera pieces stuck in. Little bookmark. And a dyed piece of paper that turned out really pretty, where I'd stuck some leaves in and just poured some ink over them and then let them dry, and then stenciled over it with some honeycomb. I think that turned out really pretty. And here we have a pocket. Sewn around the edges. Just a little postcard you could write on the back, a nice writing space. This is one of the flowers out of my mother-in-law's yard that I dried last year. They're beautiful, light blue. It seemed to match it perfect. Put it between two pieces of acetate. That is my cat. We have no fleas in Idaho, so I'm not sure why she's itching. I've been in southeastern Idaho for over 25 years. I've seen one flea, and that was when we had some neighbors moved in from California, and then now all of their animals are flea-free too. No products required. I think it's the altitude. Not really sure. Beauty, Seek, figure 6, figure 7. These are the Tim Holtz rub-ons. And then on the inside, I put a little tag, made a little pocket on the back, so I doubled it over. General information stamp. If you've bought the Tim Holtz little mini sidekick, the free tag kit dies and stamps come with it. That's where that's from. Just a piece of paper with a rub-on. Find joy in the ordinary. Tim Holtz. Same thing here. Crafter's Companion paper. Fun little heart clip. The Joker. You remember these playing cards? Anyway, that's just the images on a piece of paper. I think it turned out really well. An old ledger with some lilacs and bees. Another little, these are all just papers where I stuck images together. Most of them are all vintage images. Beekeeper's notes. This is my weird page, which I sort of liked, but it's a little weird. I like it. So it's another one of those, I guess it's Victorian era, I'm not really sure, images where it's sort of odd. But this one's more realistic, where it's just a mom with her two girls. She's teaching them obviously about the beehives. And there is a little old Stampin' Up! Clippy thing. This is out of a textile book. One of those where you'd go and you'd pick your upholstery from a really well-off upholstery place that I could never afford, but I got their book with all the little scraps in it. I got that. Anyway, lace. A little journaling spot. Just blessings. And a tag. Still plain tag. Part of it in Tim Holtz and Presslet. Secret Life of Bees, just a ripped piece out of the book. Zipping over the earth. Tim Holtz journaling tag, or journaling card. Be grateful, smart, clean, true, humble, and prayerful. Gordon B. Hinckley. Nail tag. You can do it. Why is it that things always fight you when you are... Oh, I think it's how far it goes in here. Always fight you when you're filming them, but when they're not, they're going just fine. Maybe it's because we're awkward the way we're sitting. No, see, like I said, never fought me before. Now you're fighting me. Okay. Listen to your heart. It's an envelope, a recycled envelope. Actually, I think it's from my health insurance company. Telling me how much I had to pay. Or not pay in this case. It's Anna Griffin behind the scenes is out of her card kits. That opalesque paper I always think is pretty. It's got that sheen to it, but you can still write on it. A honey colored ribbon that I sewed around with a zigzag stitch. Another writing space. Old vintage images that I overlaid. Again, another Beekeeper's Honey Log ledger. A little tag with a vintage image. Some more ephemera. These are Tim Holtz stamps. They come with the accompanying, well, you can buy the dies that come with them. So it comes up with this great little holes in it that looks like they could be torn away. It's interesting. That little piece, that little circle right there did not pop out. And isn't it odd to me that, it's odd to me anyway, that sometimes things like that, you almost just think it makes it look cooler that it didn't pop out. A little bit of velvet ribbon on a vintage image. Cool piece. Journal in the back. This is a flip top. It's a piece of acetate underneath a die cut image of the bees. I just can't see it really good. Maybe you can see it if I put it up here. Like that. Used a piece of organza that matched the front to sew on and come in on each side so it would stay. A tag. A nice big pocket with an embossed piece of chipboard. And I made this, there it is. I made this wallet. I think I had seen one somewhere where there was a die cut system, but I didn't want to pay for it. So I made my own version and just cut out pieces that I could glue together. You know, it's got a little window. There's no acetate in there, it's just clear. So you can change this out with any image you want. No honey. Little pockets on the side, puts things. Let the tears come, let them water your soul. When I was younger, I hated to cry, and I definitely would never cry in front of anybody. And I came across this quote somewhere, and I loved it. I have it on my desk too. If you feel like crying, just cry. It doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you're mad or sad or whatever the case may be. Or sometimes you're a woman and you just cry. This is what we do. Anyway, images with some morning glories and a little piece of leaf ribbon. Another of my saddle sewing. It's just a little, not really a book, it's just a little flip. You can write under it or put a picture under it. Little envelope. Yes, I cut every one of these out on the computer and then replaced them on top of my image. Such a pain in the butt, but it was good. Little vintage image. And when I say cut, I don't mean like with scissors. I mean like to cut them with the paint or the program to make them look cool, because I love those letters. Bumblebee, a little journaling spot. A garden seeds pocket. I did find the garden seeds somewhere on an image site, but I changed it up, added color, added flowers, added bees, added wasp, and turned it into a nice little tiny Velcro pocket for a secret writing spot. There's a whole sheet in here that you can write your thoughts on. Well, I guess it's a half sheet. I guess it fits better. I guess technically you could put seeds in it if you wanted to. Where's the light? One of the little foiled piece. And more in the pocket. Vintage bee identifier printed out. Good little writing spot with lines. Always comes in handy. Or if you're like me, when I start writing, it goes like, can't write straight. Another envelope, billing envelope, and a little bit of Edith Holden. The beginning is the most important part of the work by Plato. Stamps with lines to write on. You calm down, Mr. Bell. This I made a while back when I first got my bee bum image. And it made me think about, you always hear that the bumblebees shouldn't be able to fly. Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not, but because their wings are so tiny compared to their bodies. And I started thinking, well, why do they fly? It's because she thought she could. She didn't know her wings were too small to carry her. She only knew she needed to fly. And so she did. I think it's how we all get out of a lot of situations. We just do precious things. Old beekeeper image. Is that sewed on here? Yeah, it's glued on here. You teeny tiny people kit. This image is really beautiful. It's a background image. Oh, that says live simply if you can't see it. Some, I guess it's like a, not really tulle. It's sort of like a really thin material. Actually, I think it might have even come on a roll from the dollar store. It's like gold foiled feathers. Really fine. Little writing spot. Little tag. Happy little bee. He's the happiest little bee I've ever seen. Somebody painted him up. Isn't he cute? That's one of the Adobe images again. Oh, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, there he is. So happy. And in the background is some images out of a Russian or German, yep, it's German, out of a German printing of bees, so you can't really see the words though. But just so it has some imagery in the back, not just plain. Oh, and there is an image on the back where you can, or a journaling spot on the back. Little laces. There we go. Yeah, this is the same manual, so it is a German book. It shows the different types of beehives and the names in German, which obviously I can't pronounce. Kittinger's honey. What is in here? No. Little journaling spot. More little ephemera and envelopes. I don't think there's anything in there. Nope, there is a little card. I just stuck stuff everywhere, didn't I? Journaling card. It's one of the Secret Life of Bees book pages. I don't remember seeing the other side of that. Oh, maybe it's in there a little bit more. On the other side. I keep forgetting that there's different signatures. A little copy of that stamp with a little ribbon and a Griffin all tucked in under there. Go Anna. Little writing spot, beautiful life. Just clear with a little, I don't know, is that heather or stallion? Another band. The Hum of Bees is the Voice of the Garden by Elizabeth Lawrence. A tag with those letters that I spent so much time making look clean. Little journaling spot. A piece of decorative acetate. I think it's K and Company, if you remember them from a long time ago. Journaling spot. Some coffee dyed paper. Bee stamps. A cute piece of printed vellum. Fun journaling spot with another ledger page and some images. This was an old vintage map image, and I overlaid just a few little teeny tiny bees on it. Because hey, it's a bee journal, it's gotta have little tiny bees on it. Another ledger page. Image. Stamp. Some more journaling space. Vellum. Beautiful image. Printed vellum. Well, there's the other side of it's Sue Monk Kidd. Like I said, if you haven't read that book, many people have. If you have not read The Secret Life of Bees, please do. It's not a very big book, and it just has a great lesson to it, and it's, you know, just beautiful. I won't tell you anything about it unless you wanted to read it so you don't get the story spoiled. Gorgeous, gorgeous old bee image. Little acetate pocket sewn in. Oh, 2 pockets. Take it back. There's 2 pockets there. I forgot to put 2 in. Another postcard to write on. Some sewn on lace. Just a really pretty background. Oh yeah, this one comes out this way. Come on, you go. There you go. Just lots of little ephemera that you could use anywhere inside the journal. It's a time card that I folded up on the bottom to make a pocket. And just cut off a piece of the, I don't know what you call it, lined, ringed die. And a belly band. You can do it. Okay. Get hung up here. I'll let you get hung up there. There we go. Do it that way. Yeah. Little clip. Little rusted clip. Little piece of ribbon in it. Envelope made from the Crafter's Companion paper. Put a little, one of those little Velcro circles on it. So it gives you a little pocket to write some stuff. piece of paper. There's plenty of room in there, so you could always add more. Another line sheet with my letters on it. And of course I probably went crazy with these letters because I loved them so much, but I think they look amazing. Another Adobe image. And in the back pocket, which this is really just about a 4 or 5 inch piece of lace. There's a little folder. One of the Tim Holtz stamps, "The world of reality has its limits, but the world of imagination is boundless." Tim Holtz. I think it's one of the Baroque stamps. Not sure what it is. Tim Holtz. Inside, love yourself. Yeah, it's upside down. Goes that way. And another little pocket with a specimen card in it. And there you go. And that is my bee journal. Thanks for watching.